is incredible. I think that sometimes when people write for children, they talk down to them a little bit. They kind of try to create a world that has a lot of sweetness in it, and sometimes it can come off as a little saccharine. The thing that I liked about Roald Dahl is he managed to take the world that we live in and interpret it for kids in a way that they were empowered. So the things that were scary for them, particularly scary psychologically for children, he interprets it for the kids, but he always makes the kids win. And he lets you know, yeah, there are going to be bullies in the world. There are going to be bad people in the world. Things are going to make you anxious. You will be afraid at some point, but you'll also be triumphant. And just coupled with that and all the magic that he was able to create, I think that's one of the things I like about him. So this film is based on Roald Dahl's The Witches. It's the story of a young man who goes to live with his grandmother after the death of his parents. And it's a world that contains witches. Witches are real in this world. And his grandmother is one of the people who knows how to fight them. And so he kind of gets roped into the cause very much against his will. When he and his grandmother accidentally, they check into a hotel that, without knowing that there's a convention of witches meeting there at the same time. And I am the Grand High Witch, so I'm the one leading the convention. I play the Grand High Witch. She is evil. She is the being that evil considers evil. I mean, she is just as extreme as you can imagine. She's kind of a diva. She has big emotions. And our director, Bob Zemeckis, gave me the most wonderful idea. He said, when she has emotions, don't think of her as a person, think of her as an animal. So the way animals go crazy whenever they feel something and they just express it, do that. So she does that freely. She is one of those people who can't take any pain but loves inflicting it. And sadly, for everyone, she's the boss. She absolutely hates children, and her mission on this planet is to transform all the children in the world into mice, so that way their parents will be afraid of them and eventually destroy them. Robert Zemeckis is the director of The Witches. I'm so happy he is. He's got this boundless imagination, and the technology that we've become accustomed to seeing as moviegoers, he's the one who invented so much of it. So he has the ability to visualize what he wants, the technical ability to make it happen, and he's got a fantastic sense of humor. With Bob, he's so inspiring because you know that anything that you come up with, whatever your wildest imaginative dream is, he's going to be able to make it a reality. So the Grand High Witch's plan is she has developed a potion called number 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker Potion that she is going to put into candy. Now, number 86 Delayed Action Mouse Maker Potion does just what it describes. It turns children into mice. We're very good at turning children into mice. It turns out we're terrible at actually killing them. So both the mice escape, and it turns out that the boy had a pet mouse who was another child who had been transformed, and these three children who have been turned into mice, along with the boy's grandmother, decide that they have to take the witches down. As an actress, I just couldn't believe how truthful she was. And they would yell action, and she would just flood her character with so much emotion and so much love, and you just wanted to be around her. So Stanley Tucci plays Mr. Stringer, hotel manager, and he is so wonderful in the part. He kind of comes up with this really wonderful, soft, deep Southern accent, and he's really obsequious, but at the same time, you can just tell that he's kind of ready to quit his job. So our hero boy is played by Jahzir Bruno, who, it was such a delight getting to watch him play this part. I think a lot of people talk about how natural it is when you watch kids act, but that's actually very difficult to do. And I can't explain, I was just rooting for him. He's exactly who you want to have leading you through this story. You know, he's so easy to root for, and he's so wonderful to watch. And I think he and Octavia are going to be such a delightful pair in this one. I think they're going to be really, really special. One of the strengths that Jahzir has is also in just showing exuberance. And you so believe that Octavia, as grandma, brought him back from being very sad, obviously, after his parents die, to being an exuberant, happy little boy, or exuberant, happy little mouse. And you believe in them as a family, and you believe that as long as they have each other, they're going to be okay. I think this movie is a ride. You know, I think there's so many parts to it. It's funny, it's scary, it's got so much, it's got emotion to it, it's got heart, and I just think it's thrilling. It kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat. You don't know quite how it's going to end or who's going to win. And I just think it's an amazing, amazing roller coaster of a movie. I think I found making it really, really delightful. You could just kind of see. I could imagine the audiences watching it when we were making it, and you can imagine them squirm and being grossed out, but also being scared, and then and then thinking things were really funny at the same time. So, so hopefully that'll all come true.